My name is Yin Lo. Here is my INT4060 Simulation Project that is Ecosystem Food Chain. This is the content. The background, the target learners is the primary 4 science student or primary 5 general studies student. These are their prior knowledge. The learning objective. Explain the energy flow in the food chain, identify producer and consumer, understand the negative impacts of ecological imbalance. This is the learning context that follow the website. We will check it later. And then for the simulation part, the left-hand side you can see is about the ecological imbalance that I find in the internet. And the right-hand side is World War and another that I do with AI that's similar that you can see is as an exercise that you can check your memory, check your knowledge, that what do you learn in this module, that you can check your knowledge. And then for this part, I can check the result that's similar to World War and show the top 10 results and the average time, average score, the total pay. Then I can check the marks of my student. I can know how they learn in this module. Can they really get the answers or they have any misconceptions? So this is the main part of my teaching module because this is a teaching module, an online teaching module. The student may have something to ask, but I may not immediately respond to them. So I train a AI bot to help me to respond to them that I train with my website. And also I find some resources that I think is reliable. And you can see the example. Why I train the bot by myself? Because I think it is very important for the student to have the have the correct resources. So if they search from the internet, if they have something wrong or say they are hard to identify the truth or false of the information. So I changed the both with my website and some resources that I think is reliable. Then they can ask the question about food chain. If they are asking others that are not related to the food chain, then the bot will reject to them, and you can require a quiz from the bot, then it will show the answer. If you have any question that you want to ask, then you can ask the bot, then it will immediately respond to you. That's I trained the bot by myself, so I think it is quite reliable. That I think it will give you the correct answers. Then you may ask the question is for the POE. You can see that I answer the question wrongly, then it will explain to me. If I asking something else, that do you like the teddy bears? Oh, then he cannot answer me anything that's beyond his learning base. Then we'll see the website. First, the food chain. This is the learning objective. The student need to know what they will be able to learn after this module. Then let's start. How about the food chain? The definition of the food chain and some common misconception, common question in the food chain. Or say, is the sun a producer in the food chain? No, the sun is the main energy source of the food chains. Then they can ask the questions. One thing I need to emphasize is the attitude education. That human intervention in the food chain may lead to an ecological imbalance. That don't think the producers are so poor, so we have to help them. We kill the consumers. That is not possible. That the student need to know that for us, a human being, we should not disturb the food chain. And then talk about the consumers, the definition and the examples, 16 examples. Then for the example, student can guess the food chain. For the consumers, 3 types of consumers, definitions, misconception. One thing I have to emphasize in this is, can the same species play different roles in different food chains? That it need to tell the student that the role is not always the same. You need to see case by case. That for the examples, if we eat corn, we are primary consumers. If the chicken eats corn and we eat the chicken, we are secondary consumers. That you cannot remember, just remember. You need to see it depends on its diet on the food chain. So what does this animal eat? These are the examples. 16 example, you may find is some of the example they are the same. Just wait for you to find. And then the food chain, the third one. Then I provide many examples in this, that all the game's answers will come from these examples. The human is also one of the consumers in the food chain, the food chain. Then talk about the ecological imbalance. Have you ever wondered what will happen if a species in a food chain disappear? this is the simulation. Then you can control the numbers of snakes to rabbits. Then you can control it. I leave the question for you and I suggest the answer at the end of the page that you can trace later. And another simulation that we may trace together. Let the rabbits. Here is still generation 0. I can see more rabbits. If a wolf, the rabbits will decrease. Then you can see the change. If I have limited food, then you can see the curve of the rabbit. Just wait for you to find it. Then we will see the other first. For the games, for the World War, then I may just show one of them. The match pairs. Then you can see another together. You may see maybe corn. Then you may see the symbols. It's very important to the symbols. I don't know what it wrong. And this is a deer mouse. And then you can see this. This is a pair up. And you can see, this one. Then you will remember the planes as something with the arrow. Then you can see with the arrow to pair up. And then these two from the AI, the matching pairs, yes or no, and fill in the blanks. And we just see yes or no. Then restart. This is the wrong answers. And you will see yes or no. Get the mask. Thus, I changed some of the answer after the AI journey, so try to make it stick to our website in matching pairs. You let me see more. That's why I'm using this one because I think World War is a bit limited to some of the game patterns, so I use more to them. Then you can see parts. Is this right? Wrong. Then you can see it. Then you can see. Okay, this is right. Then you can pair up one by one. Just different games that 3 games, 3 in the best, yes or no. Then I changed some of the question after the AI gen. The main part, the inquiry that the bot mentioned before. I ask the question here. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.